Okay. Trish, you there?
Yeah, hi. I'm here.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I really wanted to come to this. I'm kind of scrambling for time. I might be a few minutes late. Everything cool? I
Everything's
miss you.
good. I miss you too.
It's been
We're in class
crazy.
together and I never see you.
Well, because I know never show up. There's always something going on, but I had lots going on. It's good. All good.
All right, so let me make sure it's showing up over here. Do you see it over here in our
I
group?
see
Yes, I
you.
do. Yes. Hey, so we are live, and I want to welcome Darcy here tonight. So excited to have her here. Um, Let me get my notes here so I can introduce you.
Thank you.
So Darcey Kesner Hawkins is a beautiful spiritual woman. She can usually be found tussling for desk space with her black cat, Pie, who enjoys lying in front of the computer monitor and upon the keyboard. She's a passionate healer, and yes, she is, and a spirit-led modern medicine woman who knows the transformative power of self-healing firsthand. Having overcome childhood sexual assault, she now dedicates herself to serving and empowering others on their healing paths. As the founder of I Choose Me method and movement, she leads the way in helping wounded individuals reclaim love in their lives, starting with themselves. In her role as a modern medicine woman, Darcey shares her expertise as a wellness intuitive and channeler, tapping into insights during massages and through touch. She also offers spiritual guidance and transformation as a minister and shamanic practitioner and healer. With certifications as a Reiki master teacher and an EFT relationship coach, she ensures a holistic approach to healing. So, Darcey, take it away.
Thank you so much, Georgia. Thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it. Um, so, I guess the first question I have is how much does your group know about shamanism?
I think it's about half and half. Some are familiar with it and some of them are not. I would say probably more than half are not. So, tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, so shamanism itself has been around for over 10,000 years. It is the first religion, if you will, of all the tribes, the cultures that have started on planet Earth. So I'm half Japanese, and there are shamans, excuse me, within the Japanese culture as well, even though you're looking more today at a Buddhist type structure, well, mostly Shinto, but there is shamanism everywhere. And so they were either called shamans, medicine woman, or medicine man for their spiritual leader as well as healer. So in the Japanese culture, they were called kami no michi, which kami is the deity for everything within the culture of Japanese. It's also called animism, I think it is called. So they're giving energy recognition to rocks, to water, much like neo shamanism is today. And so when traditionally when a community member was sick, whether it was physically or if they had mental health issues, the shaman would intercede. They would go to the spirit world via a plant that would put them into a trance. I can't think of anything off the top of peyote, something like peyote, depending on where this was, what culture it was. And so the shaman went between the worlds and would either beseech, battle, or just have a conversation to gain healing for the person. And there would be ritual involved. It could take, days for this to happen. And so neo shamanism is more of a contemporary overall look at working with non ordinary reality. And that was loosely birthed by three people. Michael Harner is the one that I have followed. And so for me, shamanism came into my life right at the moment that Michael Harner wrote his first book. So we're talking early 1980s. without telling you how old I am. So, with it, and so Sandra Ingerman, who is my mentor, and so I bought his book when it first came out because I was intrigued. This was gosh, I think I was newly married, and this was something that really interested me. But being who I was, I never went out and embraced it because I'm a baby boomer. You just don't do those things. I was past the, oh, what does it call it? Woodstock era. I was born during that time, so never embraced that. And plus, with my abuse, couldn't step out of what was society called the norm. And so Sandra Ingerman did, and she has been a shamanic practitioner for over 30 years and has studied under Michael Harner, and I have trained under her in other modalities that she shares. And so her contemporary, which is someone you may have heard of, is Alberto Villoldo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And so Michael Harner went into and studied under a medicine person. I want to say it was Peru, but I'm not absolutely positive, so don't quote me. And so he learned of the different traditions and then brought it to the Western culture. He elected not to use the plant medicine to induce the trance because of the drug issue within the United States. And so he was able, through trial and error, be one of the pioneers to realize that drumming, the sound, the frequency, can also produce a trance-like state. And so I'm going to demonstrate the drumming for you here today. So I don't know if anyone is watching, if they have any questions before I go into some of the pieces about neo-shamanism.
I'm looking at the chats and I don't see any right now, so I guess you can continue.
Okay, so neo-shamanism has taken the rituals and applied it into our way of doing things, but still honoring the origins of what shamanism is. And everybody has roots to shamanism, and everybody can utilize these tools to be able to help them sort through things that are affecting them in the now. And so drums, rattles, I don't have a rattle near me, rattles, other ways to move into that trance-like state. And you can find things on YouTube as well to help you with that. And so it's looking at bringing spirituality and science together in a way to support us. And so it is looking at how we can take some of these traditions, the journey into, or a shamanic journey into, helping us be able to reconnect to Mother Earth, understand the ancestors of the land, our blood ancestors, and then also the collective of ancestors that reside for all of us within Mother Earth. And so looking at neo-shamanism for us, for me as I am a practitioner, is looking at ordinary reality and then non-ordinary reality. Ordinary reality, we know what that is. This is contemporary society. This is the here and the now. And so non-ordinary reality is broken into three separate worlds. There's upper world, middle world, and lower world. Middle world, we can just cross into it through the veil. And the veil becomes thinner when we meditate. Certain times of the year, we're looking at Samhain or Halloween. During that time frame, the veil becomes thinner and we can cross over. When we channel, we cross over. When we participate in rituals, we cross over. So it's important that we call in our helping spirits when we do that. And so lower world is where you find your power animal, and upper world is where you find your teachers. Within each world, there are different levels. And so they're at the very lowest part with my exploration of lower world, is the cavern of the ancestors. And this is where I go and walk between the dark and the light, looking at what is going on, as far as it affects different people. So I can journey there and help people in that aspect. Everybody can journey, and it's a meditative state. You can find drumming on, again, on YouTube, and you can follow this direction. There's different keys to ensure that you go in and you come back out, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate today. And so you have two power animals that have chosen you upon your birth, just like you have two spirit guides who have chosen you at birth. And then, of course, you accrue more dependent on what's going on in your life. You call in spirit animals versus a power animal for a certain situation that's coming up. And you, based on their attributes, you call them to help you navigate whatever you're going to navigate. The same thing with spirit guides. Spirit guides come in for a specific purpose. And so I was in church this past Sunday, and one of the psychics told me, that's part of our service, it told me that I had a new guide coming in, because in the next 9 months I'm going to encounter something that is going to be challenging, and I'm going, oh yay. And she's going to be there to help me. So this is, but we can connect with our guides during this process. And so they're our allies. They're always with us. We have to actively call them in for them to work with us. We can't just say, well, why didn't you help me? Well, we have to acknowledge them and, give thanks for them, their help and so forth. And I know you know this, so.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. And so, dependent on your background and so your roots when you're growing up. So I'm half Japanese and Eastern European, and so there's some Celtic influence. There's clearly Japanese influence. So there's different guides that come to me, and of course with my path as well. So dependent on who your spiritual entourage is, they're always here for you. You just have to recognize what the messages are. And so they will come to you also during your journey, and it's up to you to recognize who they are. So the demonstration tonight is going to be on moving into non-ordinary reality into middle world. Middle world is going to look like what contemporary society looks like now, with the exception that the spirits that live there are the hidden folk. And the hidden folk are your fae. So brownies, fairies, trolls. You can have some mythical creatures there as well. And so, and dependent on your specific journey and how much you're ready to receive, ancestors can come visit you. There could be a whole wide range of spirits that come see you. There's also the possibility you won't see anything because you're not physically or mentally ready for it as well. So dependent on who is more connected, who's comfortable with the journey, they will honor where you're at so they don't freak you out to a degree. So I say to a degree. So some of us have sassy spirit guides, and I happen to have one of those. So any questions before we move into the logistics of what the journey is?
I do not see any yet. But yes, I can see you having sassy guides. I think I probably do too.
Yeah, you do. So the drumming is, and hopefully, and I need to know if it gets too loud, and I'll try to watch. Shamanic practitioners work in the dark, and so I'm going to have an eye curtain on. My eye curtain is made out of feathers, and so how you choose to have your eye curtain, whether it's a mask or whatever you want to use, but that it's important that we go into the dark, because this is where shamans work. That doesn't mean that when we go to upper world we don't go into the light, because we do. When we go into the trance, when we start moving, and I'm going to talk you through it as well as drum, and so there has to be an equal balance, and there should be equal balance of sound, is that you need to remember how you got into middle world. So I can do a visualization and say, you're going to walk into a meadow. Your guides may walk you into a desert or on a beach. Wherever you walk into, you need to remember how you got there and then return the same way. And so, because of time, we're not going to spend a lot of time in the journey. I want to give you an exposure to it and a specific journey, which could be to meet your power animal, a soul retrieval. A soul retrieval is a little more involved. There is more work that precedes the actual soul retrieval itself. Journey to meet an ancestor. An ancestor could feasibly come and speak to you right now. And the reason I ask that everyone bring a journal and to wear comfortable clothes is during this, you're going to relax and you're going to go into a meditative state. The messages that come across, you need to remember and just notice that. And it can be as simple as a butterfly coming to fly straight in your face. Or it could be that there is a helping spirit, whatever the helping spirit is. It could be a cosmic guardian. It could be someone in the Fae. It could be a mythological creature. They're going to come and they're going to share wisdom with you. And if it feels like it's your power animal, you need to specifically ask, are you my power animal? If they say yes, great. And then you need to go back into a meditative state or through a journey and meet them again and have conversation. Because this is a new relationship for you, and we need to nurture our new relationships. So there is a wide range of reasons to go on a shamanic journey. If you're going in for healing, if that is something that occurs, and it is something that can happen, the healing effects can take from today until 21 days from now to be felt. And so that could be you get cold-like symptoms, or you just need to sleep a lot. These are effects from having a healing. So just to let you know, if 2 weeks from now all of a sudden you can't keep your eyes open, this is probably why. Okay, so just be aware. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm in the group, and then George is going to share my contact information as well. So with us going into, and if you're catching this on replay, it's important that you set your intention. What do you want to receive out of this? It can be as simple as, I want to receive what is meant for me, for my best interest and highest good. You are always protected when you go on a shamanic journey. It is inherent in the journey that you are protected. The shaman of old, and still is that they go in, and if there is darkness, they battle. And so I have personally, as a practitioner, have come up against energy that I have pushed back on. So this is not you. This is not what you're going to experience. And then we're going to call in helping spirits before we start. So
do you recommend that they use headphones? You recommend they use headphones during this time?
Yes.
Okay.
And that way you're not disturbed. And that's, okay. Yeah. Okay. So the logistics of it, there's going to be a fairly rapid drum beat to bring you into the trance. And that is, I can't remember what it is per minute that you're supposed to have as far as a drum beat. But there is, I just naturally drum at that level. And so there will be a pause, and then there will be a very rapid drum beat. It's going to make you feel like you have to run back, but that's not the case. That's the signal for you to say thank you to whoever has been conversing with you or sharing your energy, and you thank them for it could be you encounter a rock and you're getting messages from the rock, from a tree, from the ocean, from an animal. None of the animals, whether it be a polar bear, a poisonous snake, an eagle, is going to hurt you. They're there for messages. They're there to provide you with guidance and love. And so if you feel that you're getting weird vibes from it, then just walk away and say, I don't want you part of my energy. It won't happen, but just to let you know. Okay, so it's all love and acceptance. There's nothing that is going to come through. Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of a demonstration on the drum beat before I put my eye curtain on. Of course, unless I rip it in half out of my drum. So This is the drum beat that we're going to go into a trance for. Okay. Then there will be this. That is the pause. There'll be more than that. The drum beat to come back will be this. That is your time, not again to panic and turn and run in your journey, but it is to say thank you to whoever is with you, turn around and go back the way that you came. Okay, and I'm going to talk you through it as well. So, all right. Make sure that I can see messages. Of course, I've got to get my mouse to work to be able to see messages. There we go. Okay. All right, with any meditation, go ahead and get comfortable where you're at. Relax. Take gentle breaths in, filling up your belly and then your chest. And as you exhale, allow your body to relax and roll into where you're sitting. We ask all the helping spirits to come in and protect this space. The connection from your computer to ours, here live and on replay. is a book. This is your book. If you wish to go look at it. To the left is a small stream. In the stream are rocks with words carved on them. The journey is yours on where you wish to go. You can go to all three if time allows. Begin your exploration. Upon us. Make note of the messages, whether words, colors, pictures, whatever has been communicated to you. Remember to give thanks to whomever is sharing this information. If it feels like it's coming out of the blue, give thanks to the universe and your helping spirits who have not shown themselves yet.
Wow.
All right. So now is the time to jot down any things that notice that moments for yourself, things that you want to go ahead and meditate on, and so forth. And over time, the messages can come through not just this at this moment, but yeah, it's confirmation. You're going to get more information as you continue to work with it. I'm getting rolling spirit bumps. So that's usually my sign that I'm on point and that everybody is here. So everybody's here.
So can I tell you about my journey?
Yes, please.
Okay. So it started off in that beautiful meadow with all the wildflowers. That's one of my favorite visions. And I could feel the little flowers as I walked through there. And it was like a kid, you know, how you play with those different stuff in the grass and all that. And then you said something about there being a table with a book over here. And then you mentioned the rocks in the stream. And I'm like, with words on them. So I said, oh, I want to go that way. And so I imagine the rocks, they started off kind of little and then they got bigger. And it was like, the words were like love, joy, laughter, fulfilled, excitement, adventure. And then I was on the other side. And then I'm like, okay. So it wasn't a really big, it was a grassy area, but it wasn't real big. I'm like, well, okay, there's nothing over here. I'm going to go back to that book. Well, when I got back over to the book, so I walked back across my words. And when I got to the book, I opened it. It was like a desk. And I opened the book up and it was blank. And so the questions came up. Did you read the words? What did you feel when you read the words or when you saw the words? And I forgot what it was 3 questions that came up. So I wrote those down because that's typically how I do when I do the Akashic record reading. And then words come to me. And the next thing I know, you said something about spirit animal. I'm like, okay, spirit animals coming in. Ooh, it was a silverback gorilla. And I'm like, what? And he sat down very gently and he put his arm around me and just sat with me while I was sitting there writing. And he just kept looking at me and you know, wasn't any conversation, but it was just like he was just like a companion sitting there, you know. Quite
Yeah.
interesting for sure.
Well, there's a lot of symbology with and specifics. This is a silverback gorilla. And so you're looking at the gorilla. Was it male, truly male, or was it female? And so,
I think it was male because like I said, it had the silver, you know,
mhm.
the big head with the big, yeah, it was, I believe it was male.
Okay. So if you're looking at that, is to now take it and meditate. I follow Ted Andrews' philosophy, and that's an author, and he wrote Animals Speak, and there's another book that he wrote. But with that, you look at what are the attributes of the animal, environment, nutrition, interaction, very family oriented, protector, and then you look at and you find and go within and connect to source and find out what the messages are for you
Okay.
with this type of journey. And then you can also Google what comes up for a silverback gorilla. And are you open to what I'm getting?
Sure. Always.
Okay. Yeah. So I need to ask permission. And so they're coming in with a very silver, mostly silver with some black bald eagle. And so the bald eagle is directly communication from God, from source, from your higher power. Not your higher power. Well, yeah, your higher power, infinite intelligence. Not your higher self, but the higher power. So you've got that combination coming in, and it's the connection with the silver, the white, the divine light that's coming in with that as well. So if it resonates, great. If it doesn't resonate, then just kind of kick it to the curb. So,
I'm always amazed when I don't get wild animals like leopards or snow leopards or white tigers or something of that nature because that's something that really I absolutely love those kind of animals. And I'm always a little bit disappointed when it's not one of those, but I'm like, there's another reason. I just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Trisha, you want to share? You're on mute if you do.
I don't think we can unmute her.
Okay, there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I couldn't find the little
Button.
tech problems. Anyway, thank you so much, Darcy. It's nice to meet you. That was a really nice experience. Um, I didn't want to come back. I was happy staying there. Like, really? I'd have to come back? But it was, I liked going through the veil. That was really cool picturing that. And just, it was thick. It was like kind of a fog almost. Like it wasn't just a piece of fabric. It was like, which I always pictured it before, but it was more like a tunnel of fog kind of. And I went through that, and I felt the flowers on my legs. That was really nice. And then there were people dancing, and I was dancing like crazy dancing, like native dancing and spinning, and it was really fun. And then and there was people laughing, and I glanced at the rocks in the river, and it was the same peace, joy, fun, love. Um, and then I went walking a little further, and a big old elephant came towards me, like straight on, really calm. And I'm like, "Are you my spirit animal?" And I guess it was a he. I don't know if it was a he or she, but the elephant said no. But I'm here with you now. And then my panther came through because I've done some journeying before, and a black panther's always been my guide. And so she was there and just kind of walking through, and it was just more people and dancing. And then I was like, okay, what's next? And then it was over. So that's kind of what I did. It was cool
Sorry
though.
about that.
It's okay. I mean, yeah. But it was neat.
Well,
Because it
the
felt
beauty
really
of it,
good.
I'm glad. The beauty of it is that you can find, it's not just drumming on YouTube because they add additional things in because they're competing with so many other artists. But do you know anyone with a native drum that could do like a little soundtrack for you for like 15
I
minutes?
have I have some drumming. I took a shamanism course for a while, but it didn't really resonate with the instructor, but I have those recordings, so I've got some good drumming
Okay.
recordings.
So
So
you
yeah,
can
I could
just
do that.
journey by yourself and just follow the same protocol.
Hmm.
Call in your helping spirits to ensure that everything is safe and protected, and then just so if you've taken a shamanism course, so you've gone to lower world and upper world, so go wherever you're called to go and just
Hmm.
continue with it. And it sounds like Black Panther is your one of your power animals, and to go and connect with the power animal, become friends, play, because they're here for you, and that you want to ensure that you're giving nurturing to your power animal, because some of them are here from birth, and then some of them are here for different experiences. So it's really important to have that connection with them and to nurture that, to have the love go back and forth. But you can do this
Yeah.
anytime.
I
That's the
haven't
beauty
been
of it.
back in quite a few months because I got irritated with that woman. She
Ah,
didn't have much integrity, in my opinion. So I
ah.
kind of put it on the shelf and just thought, well, I'll revisit it at some point. But I haven't.
And
So here we
hello, you
are.
have.
Yes,
So
thank
say
you.
now you can work with Darcy and journey with Darcy if you
Love that.
want to.
Love that.
She's
Do you have
amazing.
anything coming up for me? Do you have any?
um, the question I have with the elephant, did you notice if the trunk stayed up, and then size of ears?
I mostly just saw his head because he was coming right at me and his head was big. The trunk was down and
Okay.
the ears were pretty big.
Okay, so it
And I
sounds
could
like
see
an
the
African
ears.
elephant versus an Asian elephant. And so you're going to look at they're showing me dust, which is then confirming the Asian, or excuse me, the African elephant. And now they're moving on to a giraffe. I see a giraffe's head above trees. So there is connecting with your higher self. And then there's the disparity is not the right word, but the distance between the height of the giraffe and where the elephant is, you have a not necessarily a void, but there's a space there that you need to bring both of those together and fill it with this is vague. Fill it with what you're missing. Clearly you're missing something, but they're not showing me what it is because the dust is in the middle. So is that resonating with you?
I'm jotting it down. Um,
There's something
yeah,
that
I
you're
think
missing because
so.
you're not seeing it. Yeah.
I think so. I've been kind of in a waiting mode. Like I connect with my guides every day. I write, I do things, but my life has completely changed like 180 degrees. And I've been working on it for a couple of years and I'm stepping into the like the not the end, but like the next beyond. Like the new chapter is really unfolding. And
And so
so
yeah.
I'm kind of
But there's
like
some
I keep asking what am I going to do spiritually? You know, with my gifts, how am I healing? What is it I offer? Who do I help? And I just got a new job, so that helps with the stability. So I'm just giving myself time to start there. I've moved. So I mean, my whole life is like everything is in transition. And I'm okay with just letting it unfold, but I'm also asking like what really am I here? Like what's the concrete or the tangible that I offer? You know, because when I'm with people, I work with them. I met Georgia in the Akashic Records reading class and I do that. And when I work with people or just am with people, like my energy just infects them or is that sounds negative, but it's contagious and it helps them. Like just being with me helps people. Like it's really magical. And I feel it and I get that feedback all the time. And so how do I really bring that more to people? What is it I'm bringing, I guess, other than just like being this spirit that brings more? And maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I did a healing circle. I was a guest at a healing sound circle last weekend. And I got some really cool downloads and shared them. And I had this amazing, like I had chills and everybody in the room was just like, oh my gosh, that's so helpful. So like I do this stuff, you know, but I don't have it this is what I do. So I guess I don't know. Does that make sense? Like it's not
mm,
defined or a clear message, or I can't really like how do I sell somebody something or offer my services without telling them what I do? Hang out with me and you'll feel better. So that's kind of where
where
how's that? What does that look like? And I've been asking that.
well, you're not going to like the first answer, and the first answer is trust and allow. That's the first thing that came across is
Hmm.
that you're trying to grab at something that is not ready to be um, unveiled in your life right now. There's work
You
that
know,
you have to do from the elephant to the giraffe, and that elephant is more because the trunk is down. It's more representative of what you are transitioning from to where you are now. There's a piece that needs to be brought to light for you to look at and to then do what you're going to do with it, whether it's heal, take it as lessons learned, which is kind of the same thing, but look at it as lessons learned and how some of that will be foundational pieces for what you're doing. And as you're working on that, your unspoken question will be answered. So I don't, yeah, again, you're going to have to bring this in and see if it resonates with you.
No, it does, because trust and allow is what I mean, I do, and I am, and my question, I guess, sometimes I ask myself, like, am I doing enough? Like, is there something I should be doing? So it's not really grabbing it so much as curious, like, okay, I believe this is all unfolding and I believe I'm doing the right thing. So I'm just going to do that. But then sometimes I wonder, well, I could just hang out wondering for the rest of my life. And is that what I need to do? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, So, yeah.
So, well, yeah, and I have the way that I live and operate and my philosophy because I learned the hard way of what trusting and allowing is, because I've been told to trust and allow for the last 4 years. It's been a long 4 years. And so at first, I was going, okay, I don't understand. And then I released and just went with the flow. And then just recently, the floodgates have opened up, and I understand where I'm at in my journey and what does this look like and moving forward with it. But there was a lot of growth, healing, a lot of healing that had to come that I thought I had already passed up and passed through. And yeah, I was wrong. And so,
Well,
and
it's
as we
just the
continue,
layers, like when
well,
you
it
peel
is.
back one, you're like, oh, and then it's like, oh shit, now I got to work on all that. It's,
And that's what the healing spiral
Mhm.
is, right?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
understand.
where we start from, and then we add additional tools in our healing basket, and we level
Hmm.
up, we plateau for a little bit, but we're stronger, we move faster, we respond faster. Instead of taking 3 years, it takes 3 months to process this new healing. And it's
Hmm.
exponentially that way. Sometimes it's microscopic movement up, but sometimes it's like it's very rapid and you're on a rocket ship at some points, but it's always spiraling up. But you go up and then you come back down, but you're always coming back down at a higher level, and it continues
Yeah,
spiraling up in that manner.
I
And
love that
so,
explanation.
yeah, and so once you get to a point, as you continue to heal up, you also expand. And so, our understanding of what our purpose is based on a finite view because of our brain, how
In
our
our human,
contemporary brain
yeah,
functions. Right. But every time we heal up, that opens up more. So we get more of the expanse. And so eventually we're going to open up to where we cannot open anymore and be able to still see a partial view of what source is trying and the universe is trying to download into us. So for me, it was, I could not handle 4 years ago what I experience now. And so it's getting you ready and primed and ready to move into the light worker responsibilities, duties that stand in front of you. And so,
yeah, that's perfect.
yeah.
I get it. Yeah, and I mean, I look back, I've grown so much.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you so glad you came today, Tricia?
I'm so glad. Yeah, and I only saw it yesterday. I was like, oh, I have to do that. And then I got kind of tied up. I'm like, and it was 6:25, and I'm like, oh, I gotta finish this. And anyway, it worked out perfectly, of course. Thank you so much, Darcy and Georgia.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
That was neat.
Well, Darcy, is there anything else you want to share with us before we close for the night?
Um,
You got anything coming up we need to know about?
Not as far as messages are concerned.
You programs.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am moving forward into my epiphany of what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's I Choose Me. The I Choose Me is a two-prong movement and method. The movement is bringing people together to speak about hidden disabilities or what behaviors are birthed from trauma. So it can be isolation, it can be depression, it is denial of what we experience as we're trying to fit our round selves or our square selves into a round hole. But and it's coming together in cohorts, virtually and in person, that I'm going to host these and bring healing of whether it's shamanism, Reiki, EFT, holding space and sharing energy. I'm getting rolling spirit bumps. So Source, my one spirit guide who is very sassy, is saying it's about time that you're talking about this. So this is what I'm offering. It's $10 a session. The cohorts are going to be 12 people or less, and this is a beta launch. It's going to go for 8 weeks, and we're going to look at principles of infinite healing, and there's 8 of them. And it is the concept of spiraling up as we're healing is the understanding, because that is the infinity symbol. This is an 8 on its side, and there's magic in the number 8 in both in Japanese culture as well as numerology and all of it, right? So it's a very magical energy that's coming forth. And so it's looking for light workers who have not stepped into their power, and understanding that they have people waiting for them, and that they're waiting to hear their message because it resonates with those people specifically. So I couldn't reach them. They're waiting for you, Trisha. They're waiting for you. And Georgia, you're already out there doing it, right? And so they resonate with you and what you do. They resonate with Alana. And we move forward with our groupings. And the ultimate is that as we continue to heal ourselves, that healing goes into Mother Earth. We take the things that we no longer need within our lives, and we ask Mother Earth to transmute it, transfigure it, through shamanism, through whatever method that you use. And Mother Earth brings it back into that healing energy that rotates around the earth. I see it as a sparkling, iridescent, green stream of energy that is available for everybody on this planet. And as that continues to go, and we heal, and we start speaking our truth with no apology, with confidence, then we gather other light workers with us, and we move across the planet. Not only do we move in a linear way, but we're moving up, and that energy is showering down, and we bring more, and we activate more light workers as we continue. And so this is what I'm being shown and why I do what I do. The other component, which is Empower Me Institute, is where so that is a collective. And that's the unity, it's community where we come together and we're not alone. And then there are parts of it that you have to heal by yourself, but you come back to the community. And that healing continues. We spark our light worker selves, and we continue the healing across the planet. So that is a lot.
Exciting.
So when is
No, I
this
get
starting?
it.
Do you have a date yet?
It's going to start in October. And so
Okay.
I'm putting the final details together on what the program looks like and how it's all going to work together. And then more information will be released as far as what it looks like, what the expectations are. There's an application process, because as we speak of our hidden disabilities, it could be triggering. And we want it to be a welcoming place. There will be a point on the website as well as where you can share your poetry medicine. You can share, and that is through a shamanic journey as well, or however you want to come into creating words to put to your feelings and own them. And it can be shared within a community where there is no pushback, where you are protected. So there's a lot that's coming down that's going to be put together soon. So
Wow,
but
we'll
it's
have to
gonna-
share it
yeah.
in our group when you get that all together then.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
interested to learn more.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Awesome.
Well, Darcey, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes,
This has been
thank you.
amazing. We really appreciate you
Beautiful.
being here and sharing your gifts with us. I know you have
Yeah.
so many more, but thank you so much.
It's been my
So
pleasure.
grateful.
And there are more shamanic journeys, but this is something that everybody can do, just like giving yourself Reiki every day. This is a healing modality for yourself, and each of us as light workers have to be healed in order to serve the people who are waiting to hear from us. So it's really crucial. So, sorry, I'm stepping off my soapbox.
Oh,
No
no problem.
apologies
We all
needed.
need to hear this
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, and with
Excellent.
that, I am going to say good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.